Just when we thought it couldn't get any worse, a record 633 cases in New South Wales amid some of the lowest testing rates in a week. The numbers are shocking and people are growing increasingly anxious. If that's you, well, you're not alone. Help is available.
I'm living in a constant state of dread and fear. Sometimes my body becomes numb and tingling.
I was frustrated. I didn't know where my head was at. You know, I needed answers.
How would you explain anxiety to somebody else? Just that feeling of, I guess, helplessness or feeling like you're not in control.
Like any illness, anxiety isn't a one-size-fits-all, so it's not always hyperventilating into a paper bag. For the most part, for me, it's invisible.
Claudia's a lawyer, surfer, has a loving partner and a family who support her. But Claudia finds it difficult to cope with daily life. She lives with general anxiety disorder.
Since childhood, I've had these feelings of fear, anxiety and worry, and for a long time I didn't know what they were. I didn't know I had to communicate it. I didn't know I had to speak to people and seek help. The feelings actually got worse to the point where I was bedridden.
Claudia's kept her anxiety private until now.
I started to realise more and more how many misconceptions there are about anxiety and the stigma surrounding mental illnesses.
She began a fundraiser and a social media page, and Claudia says the support she's getting is helping.
I was surfing the other day and a lady saw my post on my Instagram and said, "Thank you so much for sharing that. You know, it started a conversation between me and my 12-year-old son."
When I approached my wife, telling her that I want to do something about it, she was very supportive. Like I seek help just to become a better person for my family.
Hairdresser Yuri knows how difficult anxiety can be to manage. At 47, he says he's finally reached out for help.
Life's not that bad. Life is, you know, easier than what my mind was telling me it was.
It's really, we watch out for signs, things like, you know, is my sleep going off? How is this affecting my mood? Am I finding that I'm withdrawing from my friends or I'm finding it difficult to go to work? They're the sorts of things that we would look out for. So I think the main thing.
According to psychiatrist Dr. Mike Millard, 1 in 4 Australians have anxiety in their lifetime. This Way Up is a program developed by Dr. Millard and the mental health team at St Vincent's Hospital with the University of New South Wales.
We initially started doing this treatment called cognitive behavioural therapy on an individual basis. Quickly we thought we can actually teach people to do this in other ways, so we introduced groups. And we still had a long waiting list to get into these groups, and they were effective.
This Way Up is now online. Wellbeing and treatment courses are free if you get a prescription from your GP or psychologist. Otherwise, they are $5 a month for 12 weeks access, with some private healthcare providers offering a full rebate.
As a department, we've done over 38 randomised controlled trials that tell us that the programs work. So we've tested these programs in exactly the same way that we test medications. And the other thing that it's shown is that the courses are equally as effective as face-to-face treatment.
Dr. Millard says it's what patients need in COVID times.
We saw an enormous increase in demand for online treatments, which equated to about a 1,000% increase in demand that we saw over the period of the lockdown.
Last year was a really challenging year for me. I started medical school. I went through a 6-year relationship breakup, and I felt really lost and disconnected.
Medical student Zachary Daranowski is co-founder of the mental health movement and has 2 million followers on social media.
And I remember there was days where I would, essentially, I'll just say, I never told anyone this, go for runs in the night or daytime and hysterically be crying down like Pitt Street. And I'm like, I'm not like this. It's not who I am, because I've never struggled with mental health or anything like that before.
Zach took to TikTok.
I just found out that people who suffer from anxiety tend to rewatch the same TV shows all over again because
and the movement was born.
Therefore, it creates a sense of safety and comfort.
Why are you dressed like this?
So we're dressed here today. We have a sign that says Honk for Mental Health. So the goal here is to hopefully go to a busy intersection, raise some awareness, and hopefully spread some smiles.
It's Zach's mission as an influencer with a difference.
We're getting a lot of humps.
Now I get love.
How does it make you feel when you're getting all these humps?
I'm smiling really big under the mask.
We can't tell, but I'll take your word for it.
What is the difference between anxiety and feeling anxious?
All of us have anxiety, and anxiety is actually helpful because it actually keeps us safe. What's not helpful is if we don't know how to control it. And we're not able to bring it from something that is overwhelming back to something that's helpful. So to have no anxiety is absolutely abnormal. There's things that you can do now, that you can learn now to help you to be able to control your symptoms.
What's the goal?
That's a great question. My goal is probably to make emotions and feelings cool. That's the best way of putting it.
You'll find information on the This Way Up program on our homepage.